Hi, this is Flash from the Daily Drive. So today I wanted to talk about um, what you should expect of your handyman. Um, there's you've got social media handyman. You've got a lot of handymen that will post in like community groups and they'll offer to do work for you um, and I go in and you know, every time something pops up, because we do, random screenings, I'll check these guys out, and I'd say probably 9 out of 10 of them are selling themselves as a business, and they're not an actual business. They don't have a business license. They don't carry insurance. They don't. They're just a guy, just offering to work for you, which is fine if that's what if you're aware of this and if you understand the liabilities that you have, and you understand that you know that you have no recourse if you're dealing with an individual like you would have in dealing with a business. It's just like any business. Most places, most cities, most states require a business license. So these guys that are handy and just selling themselves off and saying that they're a handyman, um, you know, uh, maybe if you put a space between it, maybe what you can say that that's not a business, so it would just be a handy man, and I'm willing to do work for you. But if you put it together, handyman indicates business. So if you were hiring a handyman, what can you expect? Well, you can expect them to have a business license. You can expect them to have whatever is required in the city that they're performing their work. So if it's a business license, which is required most places, very few cities don't require a business license. Um, Insurance. Okay, so the thing is that because the handyman isn't regulated by state, yes, the UHA regulates through certification and verification, and we require insurance. But to be totally straight, a handyman will tell you that they're not required to have insurance, and that's only because they don't have a state agency telling them you're a handyman, you're a business, you need a business license, you need insurance. State agencies aren't doing that with them. They're not regulating them to that extent. They're basically regulating them based on either what they can do or how much they can charge, but they're not regulating them about with the structure of their business. Okay, so because of that, they are not required to have insurance. But should you expect them to have insurance? Um, my opinion, our opinion is absolutely. Anytime you hire anybody, anytime you are dealing with any type of business, whether it's a service business or a business you go to, you expect them to take care of their responsibilities as a business. So you expect them to have proper business license or permits or certifications pertaining to whatever they're doing. Um, Insurance. They are covering you on their property and they're covering you on your property. They should be insured. Again, there's guys that will say, well, I'm not required to, and they will fight that because they don't want to get insurance and they don't want to get a business license and they don't want to do their thing, because unless somebody actually forces them to, a lot of these guys won't do it. So, that is why we offer you all of our services free as a homeowner, because we want you to ask your handyman to get UHA certified, so that way they are being asked and forced to get a business license and insurance and whatever is required where they work. Some cities require things, like, for example, in California, there is there are regulations that the EPA requires when you're working on a home pre 1978 and older. And so, guys are supposed to have a lead certificate. They're supposed to have gone through a class, and they're supposed to treat these homes differently, whether they are scraping ceilings or painting or drywall work. Anytime they disturb the surface, They are required to have this. Now, a lot of people have no idea that, you hire a guy that doesn't have these permits, doesn't have these certifications, you are subject to fines as the homeowner for endangering your neighborhood, basically, is the way it's looked at. They are subject to fines. And we're talking fines of like $500,000 and $250,000. These are huge fines. So these are things that you can search your area and find out what's required, because there are different little things that are required in different areas, okay? But, I spoke with someone last night, a homeowner that had her ceiling scraped. She lived in a home that was built in 1978. She had her ceiling scraped, and she had hardwood flooring put in by a handyman that lived next door. And he didn't have any of this. He's not EPA certified. He's not, doesn't have anything. I haven't checked him out, honestly. But based on what I heard, I'd be surprised if the guy was anything more than a neighbor just trying to offer to help. Now, the problem with that is that somebody goes in, if they aren't properly trained, and they go in and they just start scraping your ceilings, and they start pushing all this stuff around your property, and you have kids, or you have, something like that, they're basically endangering your health, their own health. There are certain things that, these classes teach them. So, I'm talking about this because I'm just talking about making sure that the guy that you hired is properly trained and able to do the job that you have in mind. So back to what should you expect from a handyman? You should expect a handyman to be telling you this. The handyman should tell you what the laws are, should tell you what the regulations are. Just because they're a handyman doesn't mean that they don't have responsibility. And that's the whole point. The whole point is, if you are hiring a handyman, you are seeing him as a professional, and you are paying him to do services for you, then there should be expectations. You should expect that handyman that you are paying is carrying a business license. So you have recourse. A business license means that he has basically said, this is who I am, this is where I am, and this is what I'm going to be doing. Okay? So if you have any kind of problem, you have a business to go after. Okay? You have something to verify. I mean, it's amazing to me how many people are handing out business cards and it's not even their name on the business card. Okay? You have no idea. Do you ever actually ask a guy, oh, can I see your ID? Okay? Some of these guys, let's face it, some of these guys aren't even legal. So, they're using somebody else's name or whatever. So going through a process, having a business license, number one, you should expect that. Number two, things happen to the best. Things happen to the best people, to the best businesses. Things happen. Things happen that are out of your control. Okay? I've always said it's how you deal with that. Now, dealing with that with insurance is a lot easier to deal with it without, because the average handyman, let's face it, doesn't have the bankroll to handle replacing something in your home or replacing your home. Okay? They don't have it. If they had it, most likely they wouldn't be a handyman. Okay? Not to say that there's not a lot of handymen that love what they do and they would do it regardless. Personally, I wish I won the lottery and I could just do it for free, because the hardest part for me about this business is asking for money. So, yes, I would still do it because I love the art of it. I love the feeling of completion and building a project. Okay? So, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there like that. But most handymen don't have that money set aside to self-insure. Okay? If they do, and if there's some guys, then my hat's off to them. And that's wonderful. But you have to worry about you, and you have to cover your butt as the homeowner, and you have to protect you, you have to protect your family, your pets, whatever it is. So these are things that you can expect. Business license and insurance. Number one, Then look at your city. Look at where you live in. If you have any questions, write me, email me, call me, whatever you need to do. I'll put all that down in the information, in the comment section or in the description below. And I will tell you, if I don't know, I will look it up and I will tell you everything that's required where you live. Okay? But you can do it yourself. So look it up, see what certifications are required, see what permits are required, see what, there's a lot of things a lot of information out there that you can find out just to make sure that things are done properly. Making sure that the guy that you hire is the professional that you expect, okay? I have never told anyone, use this guy or don't use this guy. What I say is, here's the information about this guy. Now you make a decision. Okay? You make a decision if you hire him or not. Okay? So you might think, okay, you know what? Doesn't matter. I have homeowners insurance and I cover people that walk on my property, and it's okay if he's not a business. I'm going to just I'm going to just treat it like he's like a friend. He's become like a friend of the family, or he's a neighbor and he's just going to come over and in what is that show? In Mayberry, I'm sure there was just the neighborhood handyman that would come over and work for a pie or something like that, okay? So maybe that's okay for you, okay? But there are things that you should know about that, okay? For example, if you hire a guy, okay, and he does work on your home, and he's not a business, and he doesn't have insurance, okay, you have to be very careful how you proceed and what you do, because if something goes wrong and then you go and you need to file a claim, either a homeowner's claim or he gets hurt on your property or something like that, there's going to be a lot of questions. They're going to be asking, what was he doing on your property? First of all, why was he on your property? What was he doing on your property? Who is he? What makes him qualified to do this? Is he a business? Does he have his own insurance? Does he have a business? They're going to ask all these questions because think about it. Why would an insurance company, if they have a way to get out of paying a claim, just by asking a few simple questions, why would they pay the claim? Okay? I see it all the time where claims get declined because the supposed business that did the work wasn't insured. So, part of your responsibility is to make sure that you have people on your property that are covered. Okay? So, it's all about awareness. It's all about accepting the liability and knowing what liability that comes up. Okay? So, maybe you want that Mayberry handyman and you're totally fine with it. Okay? And maybe you're going to barter, or maybe you're just, whatever it is, he's going to do it for much less money, maybe, than a guy who has to pay for insurance, okay? But I'm telling you, I've heard, oh, well, handyman can't get insurance. That is absolutely 100% false. Handyman can get insurance now. That is something I fought for years and years and years because I couldn't. I had to lie a long time ago just to get insurance, just to have something, okay? Fortunately, I never had to file a claim. But now, handymen can get insurance. So, that whole thing like, oh, we can't get insurance, and other people, and I've had contractors write in telling me, the handyman can't get insurance or whatever. That is bull. First of all, if you can't get it on your own, we can give it to you, okay? So, we have links when you become a member. We can give you insurance. Handyman can get insurance as easy as any other business now, okay? So that's false. Okay. So the other thing is, insurance is not expensive. So if a guy tells you it's because he can't afford it, that's ridiculous. Because handyman insurance now ranges between, depending on, because it's based on gross, annual gross income. Okay. And it's also based on the types of projects that they do. So, If they do more commercial than residential, rates are going to go up because insurance needs to go up for commercial. If they are making over $100,000 a year, then your insurance is going to go up. But generally, it's around $800 a month. Now, if you took that $800 and you divide it by how many jobs you do and how many hours you work and whatever, even if you were to say you're charging like really little because you don't have a business right now, and you raised your rate $1 an hour, okay, you would pay your insurance and then some easily, very quickly. Okay, so the cost, very low, not high. No reason not to have insurance. Okay, able to get insurance, very easy, not hard. No reason not to have insurance. Okay, business license. There's not even a test. There's nothing. You go down, you fill out a form, you pay some money, you're done. That's it. That's it. You don't, and the money you pay is like very little. At the end of the year, you're paying a business tax based on the amount of money you have grossed during that year. So the bottom line is you can afford to have a business license because the more money you make, the more money, you know what I mean? So it all works out. So business license, insurance, no brainer. But your responsibility, okay? Your responsibility as a business owner to yourself, to your business, to your customers, and to your family, to protect all of them, okay? That is your requirement. That is your, you don't need somebody to tell you to do it because it's just your responsibility. You want to have a business, you have responsibilities. Do what you need to do, okay? So basically that's it. That's it. I'm telling you. This is what you need to expect when you hire a handyman to make sure that you, your family, your house, and everything around you is protected. Okay? This was Flash of the Daily Drive. Have a good day and happy home repairs. Bye.